Are you tired of being told you need to walk, walk, and walk, but your legs ache, your knees complain, and you can barely take 10 steps without feeling winded? You see those people on TV strolling through the park, all smiles and energy, and you think, that's not for me. I can't. I'm too old. My body just can't handle it anymore. And then that guilt starts to eat away at you. Because your doctor said you need to exercise to improve your fatty liver, but you just can't seem to do what he told you. You feel stuck, frustrated, like you failed before you even started. But what if I told you there's an exercise you can do right from your own armchair without leaving home, without straining your knees, without pain, and it's actually more effective at reversing fatty liver than walking? An exercise that's been tested on people over 60, people just like you, who had given up on getting better because they thought there was no hope left. I know you've tried everything. You've heard a million pieces of advice, felt incapable so many times that now you're afraid to believe another promise. But what I'm about to show you today isn't an empty promise. It's pure science. It's something that has transformed the lives of patients I've treated, people who were in the same boat as you, feeling forgotten, invisible, like no one understood that after 60, your body just doesn't respond the same way. These individuals regained not only their liver health, but their dignity, their self-esteem, the feeling that they can still take care of themselves. And you can too. I'm going to prove it to you right now. A study recently published in a leading hepatology journal revealed something that left the medical community stunned. Patients over 60 with fatty liver disease who performed seated resistance exercises using only their own body weight and a chair showed a 40% greater reduction in liver fat compared to those who simply walked for 3 months. 40%. That's not a small number. That's a revolution for anyone who thought they were out of options. And the most impressive part? These exercises don't require expensive equipment, fancy gyms, or an athlete's physique. They just require you, a chair, and 15 minutes a day. I'm a hepatologist, dedicating my career to studying and treating liver diseases, and I can assure you, I've seen hundreds of patients turn their lives around when they discovered the problem wasn't a lack of willpower, but a lack of the right information. Before I show you exactly what this exercise is and how to do it, I need to ask you for one thing. If you've made it this far, it's because you're searching for a real solution. You're tired of empty promises and want something that truly works. I created this channel precisely for people like you, who deserve to be heard, who deserve access to information that most doctors don't have time to explain in a 5-minute consultation. Every week I bring you new studies, updated protocols, things that will make a real difference in your health. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because I'm going to be with you on this journey to liver recovery. You're not alone. You're not incapable. You just needed someone to show you the right path, and I'm here for that. Now, before I reveal the specific exercise you'll be doing, I need to tell you the story of Mrs. Margaret. She's a 67-year-old patient who came to my office utterly desperate. She had stage 2 fatty liver, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and her liver enzymes were 3 times the normal level. But what struck me most weren't the test results, it was her eyes, that look of someone who had already given up, who had tried everything and failed. She told me her previous doctor had advised her to walk 30 minutes a day, but she had severe osteoarthritis in both knees. Every step was torture, and after 2 weeks of trying, she simply stopped. Then came the guilt, that voice in her head saying she was weak, that she wasn't trying hard enough, that she was going to die like this, sick and incapable. I looked at her and said something that changed everything. The problem isn't you. The problem is that no one taught you the right way to exercise with your condition. And that's when I introduced her to the seated exercise protocol. 3 months later, Mrs. Margaret returned to my office, and I almost didn't recognize her. She was smiling, energized, telling me she had done the exercises every day, that her knee pain was gone, her clothes were looser, she was sleeping better. And when I looked at her blood work, I was moved. Her liver enzymes had halved, her blood sugar was controlled, and the ultrasound showed a significant reduction in liver fat. She had regained not just her health, but her hope. And all of this without leaving home, without spending money, without feeling pain. Now I need to ask you a question, and I want you to be completely honest with me, because your answer could help thousands of people watching this video right now. Have you ever felt like you're too old to take care of yourself? Have you ever heard from someone, or even from yourself, that after 60 the body doesn't get better anymore, that it's all downhill from here, that you just have to accept the illness and live with it? I know how hard it is to fight that voice, how painful it is to feel like you're being left behind, like no one has patience for your limitations. So I want you to comment below. Use these words if you like. I have fatty liver and I can still improve. Don't be ashamed, don't feel judged. This is a safe space, and when you comment, you're showing others that they're not alone, that age isn't a death sentence, that it's still possible to turn things around. Comment now, because I read every single comment, and your courage could be the inspiration someone needs to start today. Let's dive into why these seated exercises are so effective, especially for folks over 60. When you have fatty liver disease, your body is dealing with a dangerous mix of insulin resistance and chronic inflammation. Your liver is literally drowning in fat, preventing it from doing its crucial jobs, processing nutrients, detoxifying your blood, and regulating sugar. Most doctors recommend aerobic exercises like walking because they help burn calories and improve insulin sensitivity. But here's the catch. For people over 60, especially those with joint issues, obesity, or very low fitness levels, walking can be difficult, painful, and even risky, increasing the chance of falls and injuries. And that's where the brilliance of seated resistance exercises comes in. When you do resistance exercises, even just lifting your own legs or moving your arms against light resistance, you're engaging your muscles in a totally different way. Muscles are like little powerhouses that burn glucose and fat. The more you activate them, the more efficient they become at pulling sugar from your blood and breaking down circulating fat in your body. And here's the key. You don't need massive gym-honed muscles. You just need to activate the muscles you already have, consistently and safely. Studies show that resistance exercises build muscle mass, improve insulin sensitivity, reduce systemic inflammation, and activate enzymes that literally melt away stored fat in the liver. And all of this can be done from a seated position with no impact and no pain. Let me tell you about Mr. Henderson, another patient of mine, 72 years old. He had grade 3 fatty liver, prediabetes, and a history of a heart attack 5 years prior. His cardiologist had cleared him for light exercise, but he was so afraid of straining his heart that he did nothing. He spent his days on the couch watching TV, stress eating, and feeling guilty about his inability to change. When I explained that seated exercises were safe even for someone with heart issues because they don't dangerously spike your heart rate, he was surprised. He started slowly, just 5 minutes a day, and gradually increased as he gained confidence. 6 months later, he'd lost 26 pounds. His liver enzymes were normal, and his ultrasound showed a near-complete reversal of the fatty liver. But what struck me most was when he told me, "Doc, I thought I was going to die sick and useless, but now I feel alive again." Now, for what you've been waiting for, what exactly are these seated exercises that work better than walking? It's not just one exercise, but a sequence of movements you'll do in your chair, which together form a complete muscle activation protocol. First, you'll need a sturdy chair, no wheels, preferably without arms, or if it has arms, make sure you can hold onto them. Sit up straight, feet flat on the floor, and take a deep breath. The first movement is alternating leg raises. Lift one leg straight out. Hold for 3 seconds at the top and slowly lower. Then repeat with the other leg. Do 10 repetitions on each side. This movement engages your thigh muscles, your core, and improves circulation in your legs. The second movement is seated arm presses. No, you won't be doing push-ups on the floor. you'll use the chair itself. Place your hands on the sides of the seat with your arms extended and push your body up as if you're trying to lift yourself off the seat, using only your arm strength. You don't need to lift very high, just feel the muscles working. Do 8 repetitions. This strengthens your arms, shoulders, and back. The third movement is torso twists. Cross your arms over your chest and twist your torso to the right. Hold for 3 seconds, return to the center, and then twist to the left. Do 10 repetitions on each side. This exercise activates your abdominal muscles and improves spinal mobility. The fourth movement is seated marching. Lift one knee at a time, as if you're marching, but while seated. Alternate legs at a comfortable pace, like you're walking in place, but without leaving your chair. Do this for 1 minute. This movement gently increases your heart rate and engages your core muscles. The fifth and final movement is the chair-assisted squat. Slowly stand up from the chair, using your hands for support if needed. Hold for 2 seconds, and then slowly sit back down. Do 8 repetitions. This is the most powerful exercise of all because it activates the largest muscles in your body, your legs and glutes. And this type of activation consumes the most glucose and fat. Do this complete sequence once in the morning and once in the afternoon, or, if you prefer, do them back to back with a 2-minute break in between. At first, you'll feel your muscles complaining. That's normal. You're waking up muscles that have been dormant, but don't give up. The soreness usually passes in 2 or 3 days, and then you'll feel stronger, more energetic, and more capable. And if you have any specific limitations, like a sore shoulder or a knee that doesn't bend well, adapt the exercise. Move only as far as you can. The important thing is to engage your muscles within your capabilities. Now, I know you're probably wondering, how long until I see results? The honest answer is, it depends on the severity of your liver condition and your consistency. Patients with mild fatty liver can see significant improvement in 2 months. Patients with moderate to severe fatty liver might take 4 to 6 months. But here's what you need to understand. Every day you do these exercises, you're sending a powerful signal to your body. You're telling it that you're still in control, that you still want to live with health and dignity. And your body responds. It always responds when you treat it with respect and consistency. Another common question is, do I need to diet along with the exercises? The answer is yes, but it doesn't have to be a radical diet. Start by reducing refined sugar, sodas, and ultra-processed foods. Increase your intake of vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats like avocado and olive oil. Drink plenty of water, and most importantly, don't beat yourself up if you slip up one day. What matters is the overall pattern, not absolute perfection. You're human. You deserve to live, to enjoy a treat now and then, to savor a family meal. The secret is balance, not punishment. And if you're taking medication for diabetes, blood pressure, or cholesterol, can you continue exercising? Yes, you can, and you should. In fact, exercise will potentiate the effects of your medication, and it's very likely that over time, your doctor might even be able to reduce your dosage. But never ever stop or reduce your medication on your own. Always talk to your doctor. Exercise is a powerful complement, not a substitute for medical treatment. Let me tell you another story, that of Mrs. Celia, 69 years old, who besides fatty liver also suffered from depression and anxiety. She lived locked up at home, afraid to go out, afraid of falling, afraid of everything. When I started working with her, I realized her problem wasn't just physical, it was emotional too. And you know what happened when she started doing seated exercises? She regained her confidence. Every movement she made, every repetition she completed, was a small victory that showed her she was still capable. And these small victories piled up, and 3 months later, she was walking around the block, something she hadn't done in years. She told me, crying, "Doctor, I thought I had lost my life, but I had only lost hope." And that reminds me every day why I do what I do. Let's now consolidate everything you've learned so far. You discovered that seated resistance exercises are more effective for reducing fatty liver than walking, especially for those over 60 with physical limitations. You learned that these exercises activate muscles in a way that increases glucose and fat burning, improves insulin sensitivity, and reduces inflammation. You saw that the sequence is simple: leg raises, seated push-ups, torso twists, seated marching, and assisted squats. You understood that you need to do this consistently, once or twice a day, and that results start to appear in 2 to 6 months, depending on your case. And you heard real stories from people who were exactly where you are now and managed to reverse their condition. Now I need you to do something for me, and most importantly, for yourself. If this video gave you hope, if you felt like someone finally understands you, if you're willing to try one more time, please give it a thumbs up below. The like shows me that this content is helpful, and it motivates me to keep bringing information that makes a real difference in people's lives. And if you know someone who has fatty liver, who is suffering in silence, who has given up on getting better because they think it's too late, share this video with them. You could be saving the life of someone you love, literally. And before I sign off, I want to leave you with a promise. In the next video, I'll show you the 3 foods you should eat every day to accelerate the reversal of fatty liver, foods that are inexpensive, easy to find, and that science has already proven work. You won't want to miss this video, so subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next week. Remember, you are not alone. You are stronger than you imagine, and your health can still be recovered. Believe it, because I believe in you.